Today, we're tackling a reality every man faces at some point. What to do when a woman simply isn't interested in you. Now, let's be clear from the start. Rejection is not the end of the world. It's not a reflection of your value as a man. In fact, how you respond in these moments is what separates the confident, grounded men from the ones who lose themselves trying to win approval. This video is about teaching you to step into your power, to see rejection not as a failure, but as an opportunity to sharpen your mindset and strengthen your confidence. Think about it. Most men panic when a woman doesn't show interest. They overthink, they chase harder, or they beat themselves up wondering what went wrong. That's the wrong energy. Women are naturally drawn to men who carry themselves with certainty, men who don't fold just because someone doesn't give them attention. By shifting your perspective, you turn situations like this into fuel for growth. That's what being an alpha-minded man is about. Not begging, not proving, but owning who you are without apology. In this video, I'm going to walk you through 7 powerful actions you can take when a woman isn't into you. These aren't cheap tricks or manipulative tactics. They're mindset shifts and behaviors that reframe how you see yourself, how you interact with women, and ultimately how you command respect in your life. When you start applying these, you'll notice something powerful. Instead of chasing women, you'll naturally attract the right ones into your world. So, if you've ever felt confused, frustrated, or even rejected by a woman, this video will be a turning point. Stick with me, because once you understand and practice these 7 steps, you'll stop seeing rejection as a problem and start seeing it as a tool that shapes you into a stronger, more confident man. 1. Stop chasing, start walking away. The first instinct many men have when a woman isn't interested is to double down and chase harder. They start texting more, calling more, trying to prove their worth. What they don't realize is that this approach destroys attraction instantly. Women don't chase men who are desperate for attention. They chase men who carry themselves with value, men who are willing to walk away instead of begging for a seat at her table. When you stop chasing, you instantly flip the script. You send a silent but powerful message. I don't need your approval to validate me. That's the kind of energy women respect, even if they don't admit it out loud. Understand this. Attraction isn't built when you're trying to convince her you're good enough. Attraction is built when you make her question why you're not fighting for her attention. Walking away doesn't mean playing games. It means knowing your worth and refusing to invest energy where it's not reciprocated. You have to recognize that chasing a woman is like pouring water into a cup with holes in it. No matter how much you give, it will never fill up. Instead, take that energy and invest it back into yourself. Focus on your fitness, your career, your style, your purpose. When you do this, you naturally elevate your presence and women notice. Here's the twist. When a woman sees that you're not chasing her, she starts to feel something unexpected. Curiosity. She'll wonder why you're not acting like every other man who begs for her time. That curiosity turns into attention, and once she gives you attention, you've already reversed the dynamic. She's now the one thinking about you, checking your social media, asking about you, trying to figure out why you're not running after her like the rest. This is the key to making her chase. Don't make yourself so available. Give her space to feel your absence. Allow her to realize that your energy, your attention, and your presence are privileges, not freebies. When she senses that you're living a full life with or without her, she'll want to be a part of it. Remember, women don't chase men who chase them. They chase the men who stand firm, who walk away when interest isn't there, and who focus on building their own kingdom. That's the kind of man who doesn't just attract women. He makes them compete for a place in his life. 2. Silence is louder than words. Think about sports for a moment. Imagine a basketball player who just got fouled hard. The crowd is waiting for his reaction. Will he lose his cool, argue with the ref, or let emotions control him? The truly elite players don't waste their energy on drama. They simply walk to the free throw line, stay composed, and drain the shot. That silence, that unshakable presence, says more than any argument ever could. When it comes to women, silence works the same way. Most men think the solution to rejection is to talk more, explain themselves, or convince her why she should give them a chance. But just like an athlete who lets his game do the talking, the alpha-minded man knows silence has a powerful impact. It communicates strength, control, and emotional discipline. Silence shows her you're not shaken by her lack of interest. Instead of blowing up her phone, asking why she isn't replying, or begging for closure, you step back. That quiet space you create forces her to think. And here's the psychology behind it. When people don't get a reaction they expect, they start to question themselves. If she's used to men blowing up her DMS after being ignored, but you remain silent, she'll wonder why. That wondering is where attraction can start to grow. Silence also puts you back in the driver's seat. Words can sometimes dig you deeper into a hole. Silence, on the other hand, resets the dynamic. It's like a coach calling a timeout in a game. You pause, you regroup, and suddenly the momentum can swing in your favor. Another way to look at it, silence is respect for yourself. By not chasing, not complaining, not explaining, you're telling her without words that your time and energy aren't up for negotiation. And whether she admits it or not, women feel that energy. They may test it, they may try to poke at it, but deep down they respect it. Now here's the key. Silence doesn't mean bitterness. You're not ignoring her to play games. You're simply demonstrating emotional control. Like a top athlete who doesn't let trash talk throw him off, you're proving that nothing can pull you away from your focus. And when you live like that, silence becomes louder than any line you could ever deliver. So next time she pulls away or shows disinterest, remember the sports mindset. Don't react, don't chase, don't over-explain. Stay calm, stay grounded, and let silence do the talking. It's not weakness, it's strength. And in the long run, it's exactly what makes her take notice. 3. Upgrade yourself, don't convince her. Here's a truth men need to internalize. You will never talk your way into genuine attraction. No amount of explaining, persuading, or convincing will make a woman want you if she's already decided she doesn't. Attraction isn't logical, it's emotional. It's not built with words, it's built with presence. That's why trying to convince her is the weakest move a man can make. The stronger move? Upgrade yourself until you become undeniable. Think about technology. Nobody begged you to get the latest phone. The company didn't have to call you personally and explain why their product was worth buying. They simply upgraded it, made it sharper, faster, and better. The new model spoke for itself. Women respond the same way. Not to words, but to upgrades. When she isn't interested, the answer isn't to ask, why not me? The answer is to ask, how can I level up? That could mean hitting the gym harder, refining your style, building your financial foundation, improving your social circle, or doubling down on your purpose. Every upgrade you make increases your value in the marketplace of life, and women notice value, whether they admit it or not. Here's the interesting twist. Upgrading yourself changes more than how she sees you. It changes how you see yourself. When you improve your fitness, your style, or your discipline, your confidence skyrockets. Suddenly you don't feel like you need her validation, and when you stop needing validation, you become more magnetic. It's a paradox. When you chase validation, you repel it. When you embody it, you attract it naturally. The upgrade mindset also gives you options. A man with options is a man with power. When you're leveling up your life, you're not stuck on one woman's opinion. You realize there are countless women out there who will find you attractive when you're at your best. And ironically, the woman who once rejected you may circle back when she sees how far you've grown. Here's what you should remember. Every minute you spend trying to convince a woman is a minute wasted. But every minute you spend upgrading yourself compounds into long-term power. Don't argue for your value. Build your value until it's obvious. So instead of saying, please give me a chance, let your life say, this is who I am now. If you can't see the value, someone else will. That mindset is what makes a man unstoppable. You don't force attraction. You upgrade yourself until attraction becomes the natural byproduct. 4. Attention is a reward, not a right. One of the biggest mistakes men make with women is treating their attention like it's free. They hand it out carelessly, like candy at a parade. Constant likes on social media, endless good morning texts, long conversations with no reciprocation. Then they wonder why women stop valuing them. The hard truth is this: the more available your attention is, the less valuable it becomes. Here's where it gets controversial. Women don't automatically deserve your attention just because they're attractive. Read that again. Yes, beauty is appealing. But if you train yourself to give unlimited attention simply because she looks good, you've already placed yourself in the same category as every other man drooling over her. And that's not where you want to be if you're building an alpha mindset. Attention is a reward. It's supposed to mean something. Think about professional athletes. Why do fans pay hundreds, sometimes thousands, of dollars to watch them play? Because not everyone gets access to their time and skill. It's scarce. It's valuable. Your attention should be treated the same way. Something a woman earns through respect, interest, and reciprocation, not something you throw at her just for existing. When a woman isn't interested in you, the last thing you should do is give her more attention. That's like rewarding bad behavior. Instead, you need to step back and redirect that energy. Give your attention to your goals, your grind, and to women who actually show you interest. When you do this, you create a powerful shift. Women realize your time and focus are not cheap. Now, some will argue this sounds arrogant. But here's the truth. A man who values his attention is a man who values himself. When you stop rewarding women who don't reciprocate, you send a message that you're selective, disciplined, and confident. That's not arrogance, that's self-respect. And here's the beauty of it: scarcity creates value. The less freely you give your attention, the more powerful it becomes when you do give it. A compliment from you will mean more. A conversation with you will feel special. A woman who earns your attention will feel she's gained access to something not every man offers. That's the kind of energy that sparks attraction and respect. So understand this: your attention is a currency. Don't spend it recklessly. Make women earn it. Because when you treat attention as a reward instead of a right, you not only shift the dynamic with women, you elevate your entire life. 5. Let her feel the weight of losing you. When a woman isn't interested, most men panic. They try harder, cling tighter, and do everything possible to avoid being let go. But here's the mindset shift that separates average men from alpha-minded men. Sometimes the best move is to walk away and let her feel what it's like without you. Think about this. People rarely value what's always available. It's only when something is gone that they realize its importance. The same applies in relationships. If you stay in her orbit when she's showing no interest, she'll take your presence for granted. But when you remove yourself, you create a vacuum. That absence forces her to reflect. And often, it's in that silence and distance where she begins to question her decision. This isn't about manipulation, it's about respect. Respect for yourself. You're showing that you will not invest where you're not valued. That confidence alone is powerful. It tells her, I'm not afraid to walk away because I know what I bring to the table. And whether she admits it or not, that energy makes an impact. Here's the bold truth. Women don't miss men who never leave. They miss the man who had the strength to step away. They miss the man who wasn't afraid to cut off access when interest wasn't mutual. By letting her feel the weight of losing you, you shift the dynamic completely. She no longer sees you as the man always chasing, but as the man whose presence was valuable and now gone. This move also protects you. Instead of wasting energy on someone who doesn't see your worth, you redirect it into yourself. You grow stronger, sharper, and more focused. And ironically, that's when she notices. Suddenly, the man she dismissed looks far more attractive. Not because you begged, but because you walked away with confidence. Understand this. Loss creates clarity. It's only when someone feels the absence of your energy, your attention, and your presence that they realize its true weight. And if she doesn't, then you've already won, because you've proven to yourself that you're not afraid of losing what isn't meant for you. So never be scared to let a woman feel what life is like without you. Don't fight for a place in her world if she's already showing you she doesn't want you there. Instead, step back, let her feel that weight, and watch how quickly the tables turn. 6. Rejection is your training ground. Life has a way of testing you, and rejection is one of its toughest but most valuable tests. Every man will face it, whether from women, from jobs, from opportunities. But the difference between men who grow stronger and men who stay stuck is how they use rejection. You can either see it as a dead end, or you can see it as your training ground. Think about the gym. When you lift weights, you're literally tearing your muscles apart. It's painful, it's uncomfortable, but that's exactly how growth happens. Without resistance, there's no strength. Without weight, there's no progress. Rejection works the same way. It's life applying resistance to you, breaking down your ego, and giving you the chance to build a stronger, sharper version of yourself. Too many men take rejection personally. They let it define them instead of refine them. A woman says she's not interested, and they spiral, questioning their looks, their value, their entire identity. But here's the truth. Rejection isn't a reflection of your worth, it's a reflection of compatibility. Not every woman will want you, just like not every employer will hire you, or not every friend will stay. And that's okay. Life is about alignment, not universal approval. Here's the life reference that matters. Every successful man you admire has been rejected more times than you can imagine. The best athletes get cut from teams. The most successful entrepreneurs lose businesses before they win. Even the most confident men hear no from women. What separates them from the rest is they don't let rejection break them. They let it build them. They use it as data, as feedback, as motivation to sharpen themselves for the next opportunity. Rejection also teaches you emotional control. When you can hear no and not collapse, you become unshakable. Women sense this energy. Most men crumble at rejection, but the man who stays grounded and focused becomes rare. And rarity creates value. So the next time a woman isn't interested, don't see it as a loss. See it as practice. Practice for your resilience. Practice for your confidence. Practice for your ability to keep moving forward no matter what life throws at you. Every rejection is a rep in the gym of life, and the more reps you take, the stronger you become. Remember this, rejection doesn't close doors, it directs you toward the right ones. It's not the end, it's preparation. And if you embrace it as training instead of punishment, you'll build a mindset no rejection can ever break. 7. Attraction grows when you don't need it. One of the most powerful shifts a man can make is understanding this simple truth. Attraction multiplies when you don't need it. Women can sense neediness instantly. It leaks out in your body language, in your words, in how quickly you respond to texts, in how desperate you are for her approval. And the moment she feels you need her, the attraction fades. On the other hand, when you live as a man who doesn't depend on a woman for happiness, validation, or identity, everything about you becomes more magnetic. Why? Because independence signals strength. It shows her that you are whole on your own, and that any relationship with you would be a bonus, not a rescue mission. Think about it like fire. A small flame flickers when the wind blows, but a roaring fire doesn't depend on conditions. It creates its own heat. You have to be that fire. When you're building your career, chasing your goals, taking care of your health, enjoying your hobbies, and surrounding yourself with meaningful connections, you're burning bright with or without her. That self-sustained energy is what women find irresistible. Here's the educational part most men overlook. Women don't want to be your purpose. They want to be part of a man who already has one. If she senses you're placing your entire identity on her, she feels pressure, and pressure kills attraction. But if she sees you as a man who has direction, vision, and strength outside of her, she'll want to add to your life, not run from it. The irony is powerful. When you stop needing her, that's when she starts needing you. When you stop chasing validation, that's when people validate you. Attraction works in reverse. The more you need it, the less you get. The less you need it, the more it comes to you. This doesn't mean you should be cold or detached. It means you build such a strong sense of self that you can walk into any situation with or without her and still feel complete. That level of confidence makes you stand out immediately because most men don't operate like that. So here's the mindset to remember. Your value isn't tied to whether she's interested. Your value comes from how you live, how you carry yourself, and the purpose you pursue. When you embody that, women are drawn to you naturally. You don't force attraction. You create the conditions for it by being a man who doesn't need it to thrive. At the end of the day, the strongest leverage you'll ever have is this. You don't need her to validate your worth, and that's exactly what makes you irresistible. Rejection doesn't define you, it refines you. When a woman isn't interested, the worst thing you can do is chase or beg for her attention. The best thing you can do is stand firm, walk away, and invest that energy back into yourself. Each of the 7 steps we covered is about reclaiming your power, building your confidence, and living as a man who doesn't need validation to feel complete. Remember, attraction grows naturally when you stop forcing it. Focus on your purpose, value your attention, and let women feel the weight of earning a place in your life.